Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the 30th of December daily technical analysis video. Now today you woke up with probably a bit of a shock, as you might see the spike in the dollar franc and the euro dollar and some of the other currencies as well. However, if you recall, we were expecting a bit of a pullback. However, I must admit this was not the depth of the pullback I was expecting to continue to follow the trends. Now this is the dollar franc. As you might recall from the previous videos, this was the kind of region where I was expecting the market to kind of pull back so we could start going long, or thinking about going long. However, you'll note that the market really spiked all the way down here. Now I've checked the news because when I saw this in the morning, it was obviously not something we were prepared for. However, there wasn't many news. There wasn't much news actually to go on. So this is probably, I'm expecting a technical move by the market to kind of test the support level from before and before it carries on with the trend. Now next week, you'll also hear today on our Facebook wrap up on the daily video when we're doing it a live stream for Facebook, for our Facebook page. I'm still expecting the dollar franc to continue with this up move, uptrend later on next week, so possibly around Wednesday and so forth. Next Tuesday, Wednesday, and the euro dollar, let's take a look at the euro dollar as well while we're at it, to continue to kind of come down. Now yesterday we had this arrow up here, and I did mention the market would come and touch these levels here, but for it to come all the way up here for me was a bit of an unexpected move. So what to do now is the real question. So let's take a look at the market on a fresh level. Now as you can see, we have now a rectangle here, which is good. The downtrend is kind of moving, and this is like a breather in between. The market's kind of taking a bit of a breather, testing resistance levels, testing how the market reacts to the value. And I think obviously this downtrend, as you can see, coming all the way from a long time. See this down move. This is our, let's move to a daily chart. See this downtrend is happening, and I think the downtrend is going to obviously carry on, and that's why they're selling at these resistance levels here. So we're going to go with the trend. I hate to say it, but the trend is your friend. And what we're going to do as the market pulls up, we want to keep selling it and pushing it down. All right. And I think the euro dollar will probably be heading towards the 1.0250 range around here. So I think it might be a good idea to kind of keep selling as the market lifts its head up. So obviously the same with the dollar franc, but on the opposite side as the market pulls back to keep going long in order to carry on with this up move. Okay, and this is the scenario we have here. If you just draw that, this is not a surprise though. Look at that, exactly on 61.8. Very clean on the Fibonacci, as you can see. So this is not a complete surprise. However, there you go. So what we're expecting to do is to make sure the market pushes up, and as you can see 1.08 is right there on the target as for this measurement here. Pound dollar, let's take a look at the pound dollar. I think it's going to be the same kind of scenario as we have with the euro dollar. As the market moves its head up, I think it's just good to short and keep shorting. This week we did say we want to short this, and the market reached our first target. If you recall, this is a 1 hour chart here. I did mention from here, if it breaks down, this was a target to come down to. That was the first target. This is the second target. I still think we're going to come down to 2150 levels, and I still think that the market is going to sell every time it reacts to a buy. Let's take a look at the dollar Canadian. This line here, this is where we're expecting the pullback, and it's gently and nicely coming back to test that, and that is actually really good for us. Another good way to measure that support is exactly here where the market picked up before. All right, so once the market next week comes to about 1.3388, that's the lovely level to start thinking about going long again. So still has room to pull back here. Aussie dollar. Yesterday I said if it breaks the 0.7220 level, the target was up here around 72.50. I said this was a good opportunity to make a quick buck, and if you did, good on you. It didn't reach 72.52, but it did reach 72.46. It was just 6 pips shy off my target, but still gave you an opportunity to make a few $100 in a session. What to do with the Aussie dollar? I think it's the same scenario as with the euro dollar. As the market raises its head up, just slap it down and start selling it. That's what I think we're going to be doing. Let's take a look at gold here. Gold, same as the euro dollar, as you can see, nice little move up. I did mention this was the new occurring channel. We did say the market might move up here, but I'm still short on the gold. And let's just make an adjustment here. There you go. So I'm still expecting gold to start coming down. This is a downwards trend, and I'm not going to change my opinion on the down move until I see considerable considerable change in the way things are going, especially on the daily chart. For me to start thinking that there's going to be a trend up, it needs a bit of a big move up, and then on the pullback we'll see what that reaction is. Because right now the only thing that's going to make me think like this is a beginning of an upwards trend is when the market pulls back to around these levels and then starts moving up again, and then I might think that there's a slight change in the trend. Until then though, shorting on the resistance is the way to go according to my technical analysis. Let's take a look at Brent now. Oops, here we go. There we go. Now with Brent, as you know, the 60 target is up there for the past 2 weeks. I've been noting on that, so I'm not going to change my opinion on that either. There's my target level there, 59.42. So I'm expecting that 60 mark to be made. If you're long on this since the day we've been talking about it, I'm always recommending to move your stop loss below the support levels as the market moves up. So if you're doing that, great, you would have covered yourself already, and that's the target there. So hopefully it'll start crawling along. I did mention this is going to take a few weeks. It's not just going to head up to 60 overnight. So if you're holding it, patience is the key here. Let's take a look at DAX. Now with DAX, 11,500 is still on the cards, still waiting on that. I think the market, if it raise its head up, it's good to short, and I think we're already seeing the sideways market, the weakening. But this weakening can also mean this this little pullback here towards this green line before it gets to 11,500 is not a bad thing, because if it doesn't get to 11,500 but comes to this support level here, around here, this range here between 11,300 and also 11,330 region here, there. If the market kind of pulls back here, what you might want to take a look at is to buy here in order to get to 11,500. So it depends which direction it goes first. That's the 4-hour chart for information if you're wondering what I'm seeing here. Let's take a look at the Dow. Now that 20,000 region still is there. The market's up, down, up, down. This is the daily at the moment. Let's take a look at the 4-hour chart to see if we have anything to talk about here. There we go. So still the 20,000 mark is good to be tested. I think it's got potential to touch that. It's just, eyeing it out, giving it a little bit of a wink. It's a little slow simply because we're in the festive season, and I think in January we might just, next week that is, hit that level. Let's also just take a look at the Johannesburg Stock Exchange Index. This is what we had yesterday. I drew the side market trend lines here, the support and the resistance levels, as you can see. So the market is in that range. Along here, I wouldn't muck around with it too much. The best way to trade this is to start selling at resistance levels and buying at the support levels. Within this range, it's no man's land and no need to take risks in that area. Hope that helps. Now, this is the last live video we have until the new year, so we hope you have a great new year. All the best to you and your loved ones, and good luck with your trading.